Hey, I'm Neto.
Hi, I'm Jessica.
And we are here again for the second episode of Behind the Actions, right? And the last episode, we created our first action, right? And it's working yet?
Oh yeah, it's working, and we can even try it out on our home. Let's
Give
do
it a try.
Hey Google, talk to Lucky Number Calculator.
Okay, getting the test version of Lucky Number Calculator. Hello, what is your favorite color?
I really like purple.
Your lucky number is 210.
Ooh.
Amazing. This is so great. But you see, on beginning, I heard like a test version.
Yeah, this means that this is not actually available to everybody in the world just yet. This is only available to our account that we have that's on this particular mini.
Okay, so on this episode, we're gonna guide you through how we get this published to the real world. So what we call the directory, right?
Yeah, that way everyone has access to it. So anyone could say that phrase and they could play with this action.
Yeah, so we can also show here if you want, for example, the directory information. So you can go to assistant.google.com/explore, right? And you're gonna see, for example, a lot of actions here. So this is like the catalog for all the actions available. So after you publish your action, it will appear here.
Totally, it'll be there. And then that way you could share that link out to other people and be able to go, hey, try out the action I just made.
Exactly. And if you check one of these actions, for example, you're going to see the ratings, a lot of things for the Google Express. So you can see ways to activate this action, what the available device that's compatible with this action, and also reviews and also some rating numbers. This is good, so you can try. And then we want you to get your action to this one. So we're going back to our home, right? Remember when you said it's your home?
Our home. We're going to go back to our actions on Google Console.
Okay, so what we are seeing here, Jessica?
Yeah, so we're on the overview page, and ideally you want to have it where you already have the invocation done, and then all the functionality that you want, and that was through our actions using Dialogflow.
Okay.
So we've got those two things done.
Okay.
We've tested it out in the simulator, and what's really nice is the nav bar pretty much tells us the next thing is deployment. So let's go under there and do directory information.
So this is, remember when I show you the number, the name, and the number of devices compatible and the other stuff? This is enter all through this directory information.
Exactly.
Right? Because it's the right information, so it's here, right? So please.
Yeah, let's open this up. So it looks like here we have to add two different types of descriptions, right? So we need a short description and then the longer description of the action itself.
Okay. And the other information here is the sample invocations. And here is important because you're gonna teach your user how it can invoke your action itself. So here can include, for example, talk to in the name or ask to, a set of ways that the person can invoke your action, ask your action, right?
Exactly.
And if you have something called deep implicit invocation, you can use here. We didn't cover this on our last episode, but it means that you can use simple. Remember when you say my favorite color, but imagine you have another one where the training phrase is, for example, book a ride. You could ask the name of the action to book a ride, and then what happened is this will be directly delivered to the action instead of going through the welcoming tab, right? So if you see something like that on other actions, it's about the implicit invocation. But don't care about this right now. Don't worry. We're gonna go up and then some images. Why do I need images? This is for voice.
Totally. This is for voice, but that's where the directory that we showed earlier, this is what's going to be shown on there. So I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. That way we could see there's a larger image and then there's the shorter or the smaller image. Larger image is for the actual directory.
Yeah, let's show here. Okay. So you can open here. This is the icon, for example, and if we hit back here, this here is the larger image. You see here, right? So this is the larger image, and the other one is the icon for this.
Yeah, exactly. And then after that is all about the developer, all about us.
Yes. So here you must enter your email information so someone can contact you to report something, even to Google contact you if it's something necessary. And also the display name. You can put your full name. You can put your company name. You don't need to have all the same names for all the actions. Each actions you can use a different. If you have like different products with their own name, or you are a third-party developer that it's developing for someone, you can use here, no problem.
Yep. And then the last thing on this part is all about the privacy and consent. And so this is really important. Every action needs to have a privacy policy, and that needs to contain information about what you're doing with the user's information or data. So this is really important for us because we want to respect our users.
And remember, when it comes to your action, you have all the responsibility on what you are doing with this data. So this is important to you. Explain to your user what you are doing. And we have many regulations in many different countries. So what we provide here is, for example, it's a way that you can use a Google Doc, that you can create a link and share this link here in the privacy policy. And this privacy policy the user can access anytime. But if you want to use your own website, there's no problem as well. Just put here the link. And remember, we are not providing any sample. What we have here is just a template for the file, so you can know how to share the file. But the content's your responsibility. There are many services online, or talk to a lawyer. So it's very important. Don't let this don't ignore this. And also, this is reviewed by our team, right?
Exactly. If you do not have that, if you just put a dummy link, we do check it. So it's not too bad. Just I would Google it. There's, like Neto said, tons of different services that could support you, and lawyers are always helpful if you want to go into legal things. Yeah,
and also if you want to put some kind of terms of service, for example, accepting this, we are storing this information to provide you a customized solution on mortgage calculator. I don't know, something like that. Remember to put the terms of service, because there are different things, right? Terms of service is how you are providing the service, and the privacy policy is about the privacy of the user. So, but the second one, the terms of service, it's optional, so you don't need to enter right now. There is some additional information.
Yeah, let's click on that. Let's go down. There we go. So category.
Yeah, this is nice.
This is where we could choose where this should live in regards to what type of category in the directory. And so I feel like ours is like a game. So it makes sense to kind of put this in the game.
Games and fun,
Yeah, so that would make sense. So it depends on your action. Whatever you think it matches with that category, just choose that.
Yeah. And now, one very cool things about for families. If you think your action is suitable for families, is family friend, please, no bad words, no content right?
Right.
So, but why it should be a good idea to develop for family? Because we are curating this content, and we have a specific session for a family. So if someone wants to play something with their kids, they can use this session. So it's nice. In our case, for example, we are able to say that it's for a family, but it's not. You are not sure. Don't do it, but read the documentation also. And if you are referring or saying something about alcohol and tobacco, also please, you have to be like explicit about this.
Yeah, let us know. That way we could let our users know about that too.
Yeah. And there's testing instructions, right? This is, for example, imagine when the person is reviewing your action, needs maybe to do a specific login or run a specific query to show how it's working, because all the actions are validated and tested by a human. It's not only automated tests. So if you want to say something for the person that's testing, and please write here. There are some other interesting topics, right?
Yeah. So there's transactions, and then so just asking whether you're using the transactions API and then the digital purchasing API. So if you're using those, you of course click yes.
And there's a MIC policy, because sometimes, for example, you maybe leave the microphone open, but if you are not prompting for answer, you must click here, because then the user must say, yeah, it's kind of hearing me. But remember, the timeout's like 8 seconds. At some point, if there's no input, the mic it's closed, and then the action it's closed as well, so it's not hearing the ambient all the time, right?
Yeah, I would say this mic policy, leaving it open is very special cases. Generally, most actions don't need that.
Yeah, exactly. But okay.
So we filled all this out?
Yes, when I fill it out, what should I do next?
I think we should just do surface capabilities, right? Because let's tell Google what options.
Oh, yes. Discard. We are not saving right now, but remember, you need to save all the time, right? So what is this screen about, Jessica?
Yes, this is all about telling Google on what devices does this action work with. There are times where someone might build an action that needs a visual, and so you have to mark that down, that it requires a screen output. And that way, we're not servicing those actions on just audio-only devices like homes and minis.
Yeah, for example, if you are building, I can give you an example of something I was playing with, like a chess voice. So you can play chess, saying the movements, but you need to see the board.
Yeah, you do.
So in this case, I would click here that requires a screen.
That makes sense.
And also, it's not okay to play on a car. So maybe Android Auto, I wouldn't publish for Android Auto. I don't want to cause any accident, car crashes. So do you know, like Jessica said, we can choose whatever it's better for your action.
Yeah, so once we get that done, then the next thing is release. And so here, there's a couple of options we could do.
And this is very cool because imagine you're working here and we want to test with more people, but not only with our account, right? But it's not yet ready for publish.
Everybody,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
There's 2 stages, right? We can use. One is the alpha. What is the alpha?
So alpha lets you test with 20 people. And so you grab their emails and you put it into this alpha testers list and you deploy just to those. And so those 20 people have access to your action and be able to play around with it.
Nice. And then when it's almost ready, right? And you want to expand the number of people testing, there's the beta.
So with alpha, there is no review process. It goes out. It's available to those 20 people. Beta, you do get the review.
Exactly. So it will go through all the regular process, but won't be available for everyone. And when it's done, you can just promote to the production. Or if you want to go straight for production, you are total confident, no problem. This button, submit for production, will be enabled. You just click, then you will receive an email saying, hey, your action is under review. So you can wait some. In general, we say it takes up 2 weeks, right? But sometimes it's getting earlier. No, don't say I did. I said that, okay?
Don't quote him on that.
Don't tell him that. But yes, it's wait, because it's like I said, it's a real review, right? It's not something just automated because we take this very serious. So the kind of content, the interactions, and everything else.
Exactly.
Right?
And if there is an issue, it will be reported back to you of why it didn't get deployed or didn't pass the review. And generally, it usually links out to our docs too to help support you to be able to solve that problem too. So it's a really nice tool or a really nice service.
Yeah. So we can easily fix and submit again if you want. So then be ready. How can I say? We'll be really straightforward to have your action available for everyone. And then you can say, hey, it's available. Please test in your devices. Can you share with your friends, with your customers, with whatever.
Yeah, because once it's on the directory, you could even use that link and then send that out through your social media campaign, through an email campaign, letting people know this thing's alive. It works. It's out there.
Yeah, and for example, if you have a specific feature on your website or on your Android app or on your mobile app that you want to call out, okay, you can try this for voice.
Yeah.
You can try this by voice. Yes, say, put the link and train the person, say the user, hey user, say this. And it's a great way to complement your experience across devices, services. It's amazing. Well, this was kind of short episode, but we hope you enjoy, because now you are ready to go with your action, right? So I imagine you had some time to play more and make something more advanced than our lucky number, and then you can now go and publish online. So please give us your like. It's important to us to know that you are enjoying the content. Subscribe to our channel, to the Google Developers channel, and please give us your comments, right, Jessica?
Oh, definitely. We want to hear your feedback, especially for next episodes. That way, let us know something that you're interested in for future videos. We could build that out and be able to deliver the content that you want.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next Behind the Action. Bye.
Bye.